Here is the alternator for Toyota Corolla. This is N6 alternator actually. N6 is written over here. So we are going to replace the carbon brushes as the car has been run for a long time. So we are suspecting for the carbon brushes, and we are not looking for any surprise breakdown of the car. So for this purpose we are going to check it. If the carbon brush will be smaller, we will replace them. For this purpose we need actually some very little tools, few tools only. This is one is 8mm spanner. These are 8mm actually. So we have to remove this cover. So these three are needed to be removed. So I'm going to remove all these three nuts. All three nuts had been removed. Now we are going to remove this 10mm nut, and there is another nut downside underneath, or maybe not, because this is already removed. So what I am going to do is I have to remove this 10mm nut. For this purpose I am using the socket, 10mm socket of course. So that this nut removed, and after this we are going to secure it. This plastic piece had been removed from, we are going to keep it, and then we are going to open this cover. It's popped up, sometimes it is locked and it is needing to pry it from here and from there, but it came very easily. So what we are going to do is, here on this point, as we can see, this is the brush holder. Here are two brush located in, which are supplying power to the field, which is the rotor of course. And here are the two small screws, Phillips screws, which we will be going to remove, and while we will remove them, the brush assembly will pop off. So for this purpose we are going to use Phillips screwdriver. One loosen, the other one I had loosen also. So both open now. I'm going to bring them off from the alternator. Now both screws removed. Now this brush assembly, have to pop it up like this. So here are the carbon brushes, which we can see. One is this, and the second one is this one. These are small enough. They should be up to this length, so that there are springs inside, and then they will be hold like this. They will be tension by the springs. These are smaller. Anytime this alternator could break down due to these brushes. So for this purpose we have this replacement brushes, which are of course FT305, and these are made in Japan somewhere. It is written like this, Fuji carbon manufacturing company. So we are going to open it up. Two brushes are there. These are the two brushes. Sometimes this whole assembly is also coming, but it is a bit expensive. So what we are going to do is, here this assembly is soldered. These brushes are soldered actually, and there are springs inside, and these wires, these lit wires, as you can see, these came off of the springs and they have been soldered over here. So what we are going to do is, we are going to remove this soldering to extract the older brushes, and then we will fix these new brushes in, and they will do. So what I am going to do for this purpose is, I am using my soldering iron. It's a bit difficult to do. The reason is there is some color they already put it on. So first we are going to scrape it using the screwdriver. I'm going to remove the color so that the soldering should be visible. Now as you can see, the soldering is visible, it is bright and lusty. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use solder wire to make heat transfer better. Yeah, soldered now. The other one also in the same way. I'm going to solder it. Soldered. Now what I'm going to do is I'm holding the brush and this came off. The other one should come off also the same way. Yeah, it come off as well. Here, these are the two brushes. You can see these are the older brushes, and here are the new brushes. For comparison purpose, I'm going to show both. As you can see, the used one are written up, and the newer one are big enough, and these are small enough. You can see the difference. They are about half, and also they are dangerous in the machine, so they must come off, and the new brush should be installed. And of course there is a spring. There is another spring over here. These are the two springs which I will reuse them and will install the brushes inside. So performing such a job, you must have a cup of tea or coffee and take it, so that you will be energetic and will be able to do it thoroughly and in good way. So what I am going to do is, here I removed the solder which was remaining on these terminals. And now I am going to fix the brushes. The way I have to fix the brushes is, first I have to put the spring in, and then I have to put the Litz wire in its hole. It's a little bit tricky, but it is easy enough. It's not difficult to do it so. And I have to pull it, not thoroughly, but up to a little bit, so that the brush should be in the holder like this. That's it. I will have to solder it over here. So what I am going to do is, I fold it in this position, then I will cut it over here. As you can see, the brush is there in its place. Same way I have to do it for the other one. Like this, and then I have to put it in its hole. Actually this is a Litz wire, a strand, so the strands are creating problems sometimes. Like this, and then I have to grab it by this way up to here. It's okay. So this position, have to hold it over here like this. So now you can see there is a spring tension on the brushes. They are coming out of the holder like this. So these are good now. Now I have to solder these two wires using my trusty soldering iron. I'm going to solder them. Also soldered, so that nice in place. Soldering should be good so that it will not create any interest joint or whatsoever intermittent connection. That's not proper. So what I'm going to do is, I don't have a cutter in hand, so what I'm using my sharp knife, the kitchen knife, of course, for this purpose, to cut this leads wire like this, and the other one also in the same way. I have to cut it, so that I did it, and there is no need for the painting or whatsoever the Toyota did for this one. And if you are not good in soldering, for sure you have to purchase this unit from Toyota. This will be somewhat for $6 or something like that, and only brushes you can purchase for $1 or 1.5, something like that. So then have to fix it in position in its place. For this purpose I have to hold it, and will push on this upper brush so that it should sit in its position like this. Now it is seated, and there are actually, if you will see, there are two screws. They are different in size. Here are both. If I will put it on my hand, you can see it. They are different in size. This one is smaller, this one is bigger. So the way is, the bigger one will go here on my right hand, and the smaller one, this will go there on the left hand. It's not magnetic actually. This way I have to tight it, same place. Tight it enough so that it will make good contact, because these are the contacts actually. They are making contact inside, and that's all. We have to check it, the motion. As you can see, the alternator is turning well, and the brushes are in position. That's it. Now have to fix the cover back. Same way, like this, and then have to fix this one, this plastic piece, and then the bigger nut, have to put it in. I'm not going to tight it now, instead I'm just fixing it in position, and then have to put these three nuts also. So I'm going to tight them one after another in cross hedge pattern or crisscross whatsoever. That's it, it's tight. And of course I have to tight this nut also, not too much. Little bit, because this is backlight and it can be broken very easily. So this alternator is ready for service. We will install in the car and will expect some life for about 2 years or what so, and after 2 years again we will do the same practice, and then that time we will check for the bearings also. If they will be bad, we will replace those also. The complete overhauling we will perform. At the moment they are not bad as I checked them, and we are going to do it with the brushes. And of course my tea, I have to take it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe my channel, this will not lose you. Instead I will bring more and more videos for you. Thank you for watching once again.
As we did the brush job on this alternator, so what we are going to do is we have to test it. As the motor is running now, you can see. So there are 2 tests we have to perform. One is on the battery, we have to test the voltage. So my negative lead is on the battery negative post, and on the battery positive post, you can see here is the positive. So I am going to connect the red one and putting the meter of course on the voltage. So it is reading DC voltage. You can see now at the moment it is reading 13.9 or something, 13.87 or 88, like that. This is what is a good voltage for a battery charging. And the battery is charging at about 13.8 volt. So this is what it seems good voltage. And here is the current of course. You can see this is the clamp meter which I put on the alternator B terminal wire, which is going to the battery of course. And from the instrument I set 40 ampere DC. I selected DC, and now as you can see the current is about 9.5 to 10 ampere. It is flowing, and there is a minus sign which is due to the polarity. If I will reverse the meter, then it will show positive because the current is generating over here and it is going like this. So positive is downside and negative is over here. So my polarity is reversed. That's why I am getting a negative sign. This is only a negative sign, and there is nothing to do with the reading. So it seems 10 ampere that the alternator is producing, and now the alternator is charging the battery. So this is what is the alternator testing after overall. What I'm going to do is I have to show you on the dash. On the dash, as you can see, there are certain indications, but you cannot see the battery indication. So it seems that the battery is charging, because if I will get a battery sign over here or somewhere over here, the battery sign is of course coming over here. While startup it's okay, but after starting the car, while the car is running, so there should be no battery sign. That's a lamp which is indicating the health of the starter, so the health of the charger alternator. I'm sorry. So alternator health is good, that's why there is no battery sign while the motor is running for this car. Thank you for watching, and subscribe my channel. Thanks once again.